Our breath is our tool to transcend ahead. Without our body, without our breath, we cannot function anything. We cannot even witness our processes happening within. Get along with your breath. Every time you inhale and exhale, it's a new process. Absolutely a new process. What all we need, everything is with us, but we are not witnessing. For last 5 minutes, breathe peacefully. Do the complete breathings. Do not just stop your breath in between. Satisfactorily, you have to breathe. Every breath is your new source to function ahead. Kindest angel delivers enormous facts about our creation and the creators to us. And these are all the facts. Out of it, the ultimate fact is breath is our new source. Leave all the judgments, all the previous patterns. Your breath is new, eventually you are new. In the last 2 minutes, breathe fully. You can feel the satisfaction right in your stomach the way you breathe. You seek the true satisfaction there. Get ready to understand the facts. With a new state and with a new self. place your hands gently on your eyes, at least for 5 seconds, to open your eyes. So, yes, today's topic is the Creator Series. So, Creator Series is something that actually we already dealt with, or we already had a session with the creation. So, now this is actually going live. So, it's something that I wanted to talk about, new creator series. So new creator series is something which comes after the creation. So till now, to understand the creator series, so we were discussing about the creation. So in creation, let me just give a brief outline of it, what it actually has in it, and what is creation, like how the creation is made. So what is the creation, that especially this earth, and the soul in us, and everything today we are with, that creation, this body. So how it is all made. So here he just talks about only one thing, that new energy. So the word, especially in everything that he describes or he gives us the facts, it's everything he describes it with new. So new is something that um, it's just into the new dimension kind of, or to the new reality that we get into or we step into. It's just like this something, that if you are done with your school, then you are getting into a college, right? Once you're done with your school, what do? We go to our college, that phase. So when you go to your college, how do you feel? How is your mind tuned? It starts seeing into the new reality, that everything is new, an upgradation because of your age, right? Then you were in school standards, and now you are in college. So it's everything is new, like new environment, new patterns, and new syllabus, and the complexity of the learning or teaching, everything grows. So in just the way, when you understand this reality, everything becomes new. So now in this creation, he just talks about the new energy, that how this earth is made. Earth has many energy fields and grids around it. So that is why we are here. We gave up our true nature, that which is so called godly nature. But it was completely our agreement that we are here today. So now again, to get back to our true nature, called oneness. So he actually says is that the godly nature, what we are actually trying to connect every time with ourselves, that is something called oneness. So here we are all in the duality, right? In this way, that so for us everything is in two ways, that we like it, we don't like it, it's a good, it's a bad. So everything is in dual. So it's all about duality. So what he says is, we actually belong to oneness. Oneness is something that infinite abundance. But today here we are in this duality, only to understand the oneness that we have. We were possessing, just the way today we have duality, but in this process we are trying to understand our duality, right? So the same way he says that, that just the way, with the help of our duality, we are trying to understand our oneness. We were actually possessing oneness already, but now it is completely time for us to understand our oneness, so that we can even experience and step into it, because that is our true nature. Back we were completely with our oneness, but as per the agreement, and as as per the agreement we did, it's just that we are here to experience. So it's just that this creator series, or this new energy called, or the Tobias materials, let me, before getting into this, let me tell you my experience, like what did I actually learn out of this series or this subject. So it's just that when I was doing this meditation and the process to connect to myself, or just traveling within deeper, then I understood many things, that everything is like so simple. What all I understood were, every complex thing was had become very simple. It's just that I understood the facts completely right from the start till the end. So that beautiful is this subject, and that beautifully even he narrates it, he puts it out to us. So he says that he is an angel called Tobias. Then he says that we are here. Why angels come and help us? It's just that angels are all there. They are in a place that just in on top of a very tall building in a town, and looking down, and they can see everything and every moment happening in that town. So just the way the angels can see our progress, what are we doing, where are we up to. So something that they possess we do not possess, so something what we possess they do not possess. So it's just that we are seeking help from each other, they are trying to help us. So all the angels live in the first kingdom, the first creation, and this earth is the second creation. So the first creation has oneness. So our innate nature, so called our energy bodies and the inner body, completely belongs to the first creation, one is. And we are in the second creation. So second creation is just that, all about duality. But once what we do is, in this process we start understanding our duality, and then slowly, after completing our duality, with the help of duality we start understanding the one is. So that is the only task given to us. So for that, for only that thing, we are trying these many things to possess that, to possess our true nature. What they have done to our body, that why are we not possessing our oneness, or why the oneness has been faded away in us. It's just that in one of our previous classes that we that I think in biology of belief, in that session we got to discuss about a fact that we have 12 DNA lanes. In 12 DNA lanes there are 10 DNA lanes pressed, so only two are left free. So that is why we just possess our duality, we are not possessing our oneness. So when what happens, there are 12 DNA lanes, so 10 are, as per the agreement, the 10 DNA lanes has to be pressed, so only two are left. So in this process, going back to the oneness, or to possess the oneness, what we do is, we in this process every lane starts opening. When every lane starts opening, eventually every path starts opening for us. Everything what is just giving us suffering, and whatever we are unable to get through, everything starts opening, and at the end we just become an angel. We are already an angel. So the beautiful statement that he says, that we are all angels, come here to tell you that, on this planet earth, it is time for humans to become an angel. So that is how he narrates, that is how he tells. So this is just a brief introduction about uh, this DNA lanes fact I actually got to learn from this Tobias material. So Tobias material has many greater facts. So this is completely that something I felt sensible, and that is the only reason we are here with lack of awareness, right? When all the 12 lanes are open, we are with full awareness, just like the gods, just like the angels, just like our guru. So now let us just get into our creator series, what it is actually telling us, the 12 laws of it. So yeah, these are the 12 cards that we have. So creator series, the Tobias materials and crimson circle is something that we are all in a circle, every energy circle where people are sitting and where people are discussing about oneness to duality and duality to oneness. So about spirituality is something called, oh my god, my system. So here, this is the statement that he says, that to Shomra, in their language, in the angels' language, Shomra is something that crimson circle. Crimson circle is in English. So in their language, it's Shomra. So to Shomra for all that you do, and to Tobias for your love and compassion. We are never alone. So that is why that we hear many experiences that we are channeling, we are connecting. So this is how it happens. So I always had a doubt that how these people are transcending, how these people are actually connecting, because I always had a trust issue on it, that is this something real. But after getting ahead in this, then I started witnessing the every fact or every experience that I have heard. So it's only about that we are never alone, only because angels are definitely there. They can tell us about the power we possess, the uh, the features we have, the accessibility that we can do. And especially they only say that our progress, they explain us about our progress till wherever, till what point we are, and till whichever extent we are progressing. So that information they can give us, because they are seeing everything clearly. But they cannot do our work, or they cannot do our process instead of us. They can just be next to us, like when a small baby is starts walking, mother is always around them, right? Unless and until they walk perfectly. So just the way, unless and until we understand our power or innate nature, or we understand our oneness, till then they are always with us, unless and until we start accepting it. So how Tobias delivers all these messages into this reality from a person called Geoffrey. Geoffrey was the first person who had seen Tobias. So once he sees Tobias, what he does, it's just that, just a second. Yeah, Geoffrey is the person. He is an author of this book too. Geoffrey, like what happens? Geoffrey and his wife. Geoffrey is a employee working. So when he was traveling in a car, every time he used to see, multiple voices in his head telling him all the facts that he had never known. That is how he understands that completely. Uh, that someone is trying to tell me something, then he always wanted to know who is that person telling me, what is he actually trying to tell me, and why is he telling me, so that what I could do to it. So he had many doubts in, for those doubts to get it clear, he started doing all this process. He started making himself so still, so in a very aware state, so that he can perceive right messages. So this is the first card, that this line is very common for us. that accept all the things as they are. But when once you start understanding, or once you start walking with these cards, it's very new. Everything is new. It's just like the way that you get into a new college or to the new place. It's just that we get into the new reality that we have never been in. It's that beautiful. So he says that accept all the things as they are. This is the first and foremost thing. So when can we accept all the things as they are? When we are without judgment, when we are detached with our judgment. So the first thing is, we always have to detach with our judgment so that we can accept all the things as they are. So this is the first law that he tells. So why does he tell that the accept all the things as they are? Like, what is the need of this statement? It's only that once you start holding your energy with something which is not permanent, or something which is not sensible, or something which is not helping our progress, it's just that waste of our energy, our efforts and time. So our progress is being held up there. We are not moving ahead. So only to move ahead, he says that accept all the things as they are, because everything depends on the understandability, right? Unless and until we understand, we cannot accept. Why do we have to even accept? Only to understand the further progress, or else we still try to understand in the situation that we are held up, right? So it's always important for us to accept all the things as they are. And the next one is the most important one: accept your human self. This is the most hardest thing that most of the people, or most of us cannot actually get along with. Sorry. So accept your human self. So what is accepting your human self? It's always that uh, we never understand that we are humans and we have some other thing in itself. So accepting our human self is something that we always ignore it. This is the fact that he tells. So that's something we always ignore, is the accepting our human self, that it's just that we have a self so called humanity. That is something called, in other words, duality in Tobias language. So when we accept our human self, it's very easy to see further. It is very easy for us to see sorry, into our energy body, right? So understanding human self, it means indirectly understanding our duality, that the duality we have. It's just that, yes, we are here, we are in the second creation, and we have sorry, we have the second bodies, right? So second creation bodies, we have the physical bodies. So in this process, now it makes us easier to look into the further creation, that the actual creation, that where we actually belong to. So accepting human self is very important. What is stopping us to understand that the human self, or what is actually stopping us to accept our human self? It is always that we are attached to everything, or attached to the patterns in our mind, that everything is permanent, or our physical body is the ultimate body, or physical body, or this human body is the the ultimate body. Beyond, we never know that there is something, that something beyond the human self. It every time, or every second, we are habitual with that kind of pattern, or thinking that human self is something very important. Human self is always with us. So most, I have somewhere heard that we even have this thing that human self, or human bodies, or human beings just think that uh, you know they think in this way, that it's just that they believe in this pattern that we will never die. No matter many people die next to us, but we always think that we never die. But it's not that thing. It's just that we have to accept our human body, that yes, we have born and we have death. And in this process, from we will start moving from duality into oneness. So we have to understand our human self, that yes, we have emotions, we have judgments, we are judgmental. So we have to, so every change of the duality is being moved into oneness. So the moment we change the one feature or one pattern in our duality, we eventually move ahead to the oneness. So that is how uh, this process is. And actually, accepting human self needs lot of understanding, lot of patience. It's just that see, most of the rifts or misunderstandings or everything, what we, every clash or every hold on, or every struggle that we hold to, it's just that we don't accept our human self. So once you accept as everything as they are, it is always very easy for us to understand our human self, right? When once you understand your human self, it's completely uh like we open the doors to move ahead. So it is always important for us to maintain the state which is encouraging us, or which is completely taking us into the next dimensions or to the next creation, which is our original creation, which is our actual creation. So this is the second law, that accept your human self. Especially the words or the lines or the phrases looks very common, simple and easy, but walking with them and believing with them is something new, is something very beautiful, but we always ignore it. So that is what he says, that we being humans, we ignore the actual fact that we are humans, and accepting that the human self. So it is completely our responsibility to accept the nature we possess, the creation we possess. So it is like at the most important for us. Without understanding our human self or accepting it, it's like little uh you know not peaceful. It's not peaceful for us to understand the next things. That is how it is, right? Every time what happens, we just think of something, and if that is holding in your path, just imagine something that you have a wish to do something, that okay, I have to go get a car. But when there are a couple of formalities to get a car and do the registration and everything. What if somewhere in midpoint you get stuck on or stop, or something uncertain is just stopping you there? Then is it possible for you to get till the last moment that you get the car and experience it? No, it is not possible, right? Because the main important formalities are not being done. So it's very important. I really feel this statement is very important, because most of us, though we understand what forgiveness is, what acceptance is, what attachments are, and many topics we understand, many facts we understand, but the biggest fact that we always ignore is we have a human self. If you understand that we have a human self, then you start understanding how many selves we possess, and how, like, what all powers we possess. Then that can open the door. So the next card is live in the divine moment. So this is something, uh, Tobias has the good terminology, especially, and the magical terminology. Living in the divine moment is something that living in the present moment. So living in the divine moment is always about that, how aware you are, First you accept all the things as they are, next you accept your human self, and the next one is live in the divine moment. So living in the divine moment is living in the present moment. So what does this present moment actually says? Present moment is always with detachment. Gautam Buddha says, right, we have to detach. We should be in the detachment state or in the detachment mode. The being in the present moment is nothing but detaching everything which is holding on to you, no matter it's positive or negative. You do not have to hold on to anything, though it's positive or negative. Just being in the present moment, even being in the present moment, in which ways it benefits us is that being in this present moment can help us completely, in a way that our brain will be in the utmost activated state, so called conscious state. That is the most consciousness we possess. But hardly, not even for 1 or 2 seconds, we do not resist in this present moment. We have to experiment on it, that how far are we actually being in this present moment. Then you can see the fresh feeling for yourself, right? Everything is fresh, then you don't feel stressed. Try being in the present moment. You don't get stressed on anything which you have been stressing yourself for. So always be in the present moment. Today, right now, in this moment, what are we doing? So it is always important for us to maintain the most activated state of your brain. So that brain is also one of the element, right, which is even perceiving in this functionality or in this functioning happening. So it's just that live in the divine moment is living in this present moment. So this is the third card, and this is something that I've actually decided only to talk about the awareness, and especially because the only thing that we ignore is accepting our human self. But once you accept your human self, it's just that indirectly we are in the awareness. So what all subject we are learning, it's exactly about the awareness. So present moment has two things, awareness and consciousness. Awareness is the state you be in, and consciousness is the measurement of the awareness, right? So these both are very important factors. Always you have to see Gautam Buddha or whoever the higher energy bodies are. It's just that their consciousness, their awareness are at the most. Like the bar is high to the target till the destination. So that is how we have to maintain. But what happens? Yes, we be in that state, we actually possess it, we do that, but we don't resist that. So it is always important that we have to resist that. We have to be in that state for for forever, not longer time. Forever you have to be there. Unless and until you be there, this reality, you cannot escape from this reality. You cannot escape from these sufferings, pains, or happiness, or whatsoever it is, unless and until you be in the awareness or the complete conscious state. You cannot escape this reality. So the next one is the beautiful thing, create in grace. So this is the fourth card. What do we learn in create in grace? Create in grace is something that once you are in this present moment, once you are in this divine moment, everything that you do or everything that you actually want to be in, you possess that power to make your things happen. When things work out, when things can happen, at most awareness you have, when you have atmost, when you are with utmost consciousness that you possess, then that is when you can create things in the grace, right? It's just that be when you are in this divine moment, it's easy to create things. Being a creator, it's completely our right, our free will to create anything we want. Yes, see, something that you wanted to do something, you had a target of, you know, becoming an engineer or becoming a business magnate, or an entrepreneur. Then what happens? You had to, there are two ways: seeing many struggles, being through them, many hardships and everything. Eventually you can be there, you will become a entrepreneur. There is an another way, the smooth sailing way. That is how people define it, called luck. But it's not luck, it's that utmost awareness and consciousness that we put in, or we are with it. So that is when luck is something that when you are with your utmost awareness, and when you are in the utmost conscious state, that is so called luck. Creating grace is something about luck. But luck has the another meaning, that awareness and consciousness are at their peaks, that where they have to be actually. So we be with it. So what happens here? Creating in grace. So as a creator, we wish to create many things, right? But when we wish to create many things, it is not so mandatory to be with the hardships or uncertain things to be there. When you're complete awareness, it's just matter of seconds. So when it's eventually a positive way or a smooth sailing, it's so called very graceful, a graceful journey, right? If you're traveling in a car from one place to other place, and you see many stops or uncertain things happening, or you face many uncertain things, then what you start feeling, oh my god, this is a very stressful journey. What if it's so beautiful, with the environment is beautiful, and it's a very beautiful places all through your journey. And if what if you get to see something new that you always wanted to see, then you'll be like, oh my god, this is very beautiful, we had a very good journey throughout. So it's just that when you live in this divine moment, it's always that you can create things in grace. So you can just create whatever you want. Again, you can be with the infinite nature that you possess. So here you get to see your power, and you start utilizing your power to create things that you want to or you wish to. So the next one is expect the changes and bless them. This is something related to our first card. So here what happens is, this whole line in a one word, it is so called miraculous thinking. Okay, when you expect the changes and bless them, what happens? What are these four words actually define? You have to expect the changes. See now, being this, if I have a dream of becoming an entrepreneur, or if I have a dream to start up a company, then what happens? I have to expect that change, that yes, I have to be an entrepreneur, I should start up a company. When I expect that change, eventually I should always bless them. With what do I have to bless them? With always a good thought, with always a good energy. Every good thought has the good energy, the positive energy, right? So here, do you understand something? What all the cards we are discussing, based on the duality, with the help of duality, we are trying to understand our oneness. So at the same time, like, both are important. With the help of one and another, we are trying to understand the whole existence and the whole functioning. So expect the changes and bless them. It is just that the miraculous thinking that we actually possess. But what do we do all the time? Either we do negative thinking or the disastrous thinking, that in a way that, oh my god, is that possible for me, can I do it or no? That is negative thinking. the disastrous thinking. This is the worstest thinking, that all the time it's just that we keep saying or we keep affirming that this will not happen. I know this will not happen. There are no chances of happening it. Though you have been through such situations or such scenarios previously or before, here that is what he says: you will be in a state that where you have never been in. To be there, it is always important to bless them with what all you have, what all we have, what all are our true properties we possess. Not our car, not our house. Our awareness and our consciousness are our properties, right? So with them we have to bless. How do you bless your children, and what all you do when they're grown up? It's just that, if you have something, you just give it to them, that yes, now it is yours. So just the way you have to bless them, bless all the changes or wishes you expect to happen. That doesn't mean only in the physical reality, whatever we wish to choose or whatever dreams and goals we have, everything are just an experimentation. It's just that, see, if my consciousness is being increasing, if I am in the utmost awareness, I can even become a Donald Trump, not Donald Trump, sorry, Joe Biden now. So I can even become the president of United States. So that is how it is. So it's just all about the expectations. It's just that you should dare to wish that, you should dare to dream that. That is the only first step. Once you just dare to do that, no matter what, it will happen. But only if you bless them. If you do not bless them, it's just that you yourself taking it in a another direction which you don't want. But it's just that, to put ourselves in a safer side, what we always say that, for precautionary, let me even think the other options. We always need the options for it. What if this doesn't work? Then we should have another option: plan A, plan B, plan C. Why are you going for plan B and plan C when you already want plan A, when you're expecting for plan A to happen? So it is just that, when you expect the changes, expecting changes is the biggest thing. Once you expect the changes, the next hurdle is blessing them. So once you dare to expect the changes, expecting the changes in what kind of changes? If you have a problem in forgiving people, you should expect that change. You should just bless them that, no, I can do that. Because if you forgive someone, someone will forgive you. If you forgive others, others will forgive you. If you bless others, others will bless you. If you accept others, others will accept you. So it's just that these kind of changes you have to expect and bless them. When these are all working, you see the changes happening in this reality. Once you cannot expect the changes within, you cannot see the outer world functioning accordingly you want. So this statement is all about the miraculous thinking, so that you should never think or expect something based on your previous patterns or previous things. It's just that, be with the enormous energy, so that you can always dare to dream whatever you want. Whatever you want is here. To know also, sometimes what happens, once you do not understand the things you are lacking in, or I am lacking in, or we are lacking in, that it's just that, okay, sometimes we cannot forgive, sometimes we cannot accept, sometimes we cannot surrender. So what happens is, but this is the inner world. But in the outer world, now I have to be in a position, so called, I have to start up a company. That is my outer. target. So you're just aware only of your outer targets and outer goals, and you're not aware what is happening inside, or what are we lacking, or what am I lacking inside. So what happens when you have such kind of goals? With those goals, these inner changes keep happening. In between, someone will give you an uncertain situation, there you will learn acceptance, and unless and until you accept it, you cannot go ahead. And again, there you get to see some more uncertain situations where people start blaming you, doing many things. And if you just hold on to their blamings and to their judgments, is it possible for us to go ahead? Then there, what you learn to forgive, right? And somewhere again after that, some people will come, and some people will start just taking away your things or taking away your ideas. Then what you do? You have to just start surrendering to it, and then coordinating with it. Then what happens is, if you are aware with your outer goals, eventually that makes you or puts you in a path where it is even utilized for the changes that should happen in your inner world. But here it suggests that if you are aware of your inner world, everything in this outer world is possible, and everything can be created in grace. So that is where these two are linked. And the next one is, within you is the divine balance. Within you is divine balance. So within you is divine balance is the fifth card. So this is all we know, we experience, but completely in awareness, right? Once you just possess all the first four, it's just that where do you end up in the fifth one is, we have a divine balance. Divine balance is, as we are in the second creation, but our inner self belongs to the first creation. So what we have to do, like that is how where Gautam Buddha and his wife Yashodhara comes into the picture. It's just that you should never just get along only with your divine journey or the spiritual journey, or you should not just get along only with your physical journey, this reality. So both has to be balanced. Your oneness and duality has to be balanced. It's just that in a single line you have to be neutralized. So whatever energies you possess, though you possess the highest energies, every energy has to be balanced. Every nature within you has to be balanced. Every emotion has to be balanced. At the end, in sum, it's just that everything has to be balanced. Without balance, to be frank, we are in this reality or the second creation only to learn this balance, because there we are completely with oneness. Here we are only with duality. But our whole structure, or our whole thing, the wholeness is with the two things, right? So two has to be in the picture. We cannot only work with one, or we cannot only work with the second one. So we need both of them. So without these two, we cannot get further or go further. So the next one is, this is the most beautiful thing, create in broad strokes. So broad strokes is just that, I was taking an example that I wanted to, I took an example that if you wanted to start up something, a bigger thing that you always wish to be, but somewhere you start feeling that that is impossible. But once you balance the power in you, or the divine balance in you, it's just that everything is being created, no matter how big it is. The broad strokes, it's like the huge it's always we say that, if some person gets so successful, then we say that, this person uh, is very lucky, that he was like this, but today now he had become this big, like never expected. But it's just that his awareness and consciousness had did this. The balance, not just highlighting or putting the uh, you know limited features of yourself into the limelight, It's just that everything has to be nullified. Everything. Then you can create things in this broader way. It's just that welcome into the world of infinity. That is all this line says. So here what happens is, if you just wish for something, or if you just want to create anything, it's just that everything is possible. Everything is possible. Nothing is here, as you have unheld everything which was holding you, and you are in a state that where nothing is holding. It's just that whatever you want, you can just do it. Yes, it's for us. As we think so much, it is not easy for us actually to think in this way, right? We just think that this is all unnatural, people are being foolish, right? But that's not the fact. Once you just start believing the divine power that you possess, and once you balance it, and this is the next phase, that you just start creating everything in a broader way. So this is something so called the broad strokes. Broad strokes is just the way that the biggest things that you wish to, the biggest change. See, once you want the biggest changes outside, I mean in this physical world or in this physical reality, the biggest changes should happen within. You should be, or you should able to understand this fact. According to the position you wish to be in, the same way the inner position or inner possession also be in that way. Every change it needs, you change within yourself, you can see the change in this outer world. So that is how the connection is made. And let's get into the next one. Yeah. So once you actually uh, create things in a broad strokes, here I can share one of my experiences, that I actually wanted to be in a position that I always wanted. And I think I've shared this example last time, but yeah, in the 21-day session. But I was always so obsessive about, or so passionate towards the flights, and I always wanted to be a pilot. So I was so much into that. So what happened, but eventually my parents were very fond of this computer science or the regular education, so that you can just peacefully do your job, do this programming and all. But I was like, okay, fine. They are elder ones and they know everything, so okay, there is no chance for me to get my idea out of it, so that I don't know whether that is going to be a peaceful one or no. So that is how I was actually thinking. But the true desire inside was not faded away, it was still there. So the moment I got into my masters, and I actually was looking for a job, a part-time job, then what happened, I just got a job as a graduate assistant at a professor. So he was one of the professors from system engineering, so completely the different subject, the aviation subject. And especially when I was actually looking for my master's education or admission, I had to be like, I got an admission in a state that's it's quite famous for aviation and aerospace. So everywhere we walk on the towns, or on the roads, you just get to see all the flights experimenting, the trial rounds of every experiment they do, or the new creation that they do. So I used to just see that and embrace so much that how beautiful it is. The moment I just got my job, I could see there that he just signed a project with the aerospace or the aviation company, the aircrafts manufacturing unit. So that's completely customized aircrafts, private jets. So there I just started seeking the fruits of it. I started seeing them, because I've surrendered, I have accepted the reality, I've just been there. So the moment I just saw that, I could create things in broad strokes. So that is what I realized, that I could create the thing that I actually wanted. Then I worked there for almost 9 months. Then it was very beautiful, though it was a part time, and I've been involved as a full time employee there. So I had to be with their admin application, customized admin application. So every day it was a new day for me completely, just looking at their projects and customized requirements that they provide to build on. So that was very beautiful. So that is what it says, create in broad strokes, no matter in whichever subject you are, whatever subject you are, irrespective. I just got what I wanted with the compatibility. So that is how the broad strokes be. So receive the fruit of rose. Receive the fruit of rose. Here, this phrase, like what all the cards here, they are there. So everything is with the with the two nature, with the physical nature and with the internal nature. So even this one, receive the fruit of rose, is something that once you just create things in broad stroke, you receive the fruit of it internally and externally. So what happens is, that was the example, it changed many people around me. Because here it's not easy when in United States, as you all know, it's just that people get into the colleges, and we need survival paths, source to for our survival. It's so common that people start finding part times, and here it is not that easy to just get a part time, you know in the form of a full time. People end up doing many things here. Being a student, how hard it is for people to just work in dining halls, or with the libraries, or in this way. It is not easy, because our knowledge that we are here today, in this education, that we are actually trying to study something, and we need some practical knowledge. So it's very important. And everyone, hundreds of people around me were working in the dining halls and in the libraries and in the gym. So I was just thinking that, if I just do all these jobs which is not relevant to my subject, how would I go ahead? I always wanted something, everything compatible. So when that happened, I was just shocked, that how did this happen. Not only I was shocked, everyone around me were shocked, all my friends, my well wishers, everyone, that how did you get that, and how did this girl could do. So it's just that receiving the fruit of roses, even you start creating that embrace around yourself, that grace around yourself. After me, there were many people who were in my position. You start that change. Once you put this creation in this reality, people start understanding it. Just the way Steve Jobs, right? Once he did this iPhone, iOS, and Mac OS, everything, it was new for us. Till then we were just with Windows. The moment he just did the new creation, everyone around were inspired. And now today, software has no limits. It's so big, everyone are just creating, in whichever they want. So it's just that you receive the fruit of rose, means you start creating a good impact in this society. That is when even people start getting into the journey that they had to be in. So you create an example for that. So that is something called receive the fruit of rose. So it's just that creating an impact in the society, in this physical reality, and even to the inner reality. Then what do they try to understand? That it's just that there are many people like Steve Jobs, but why they are not being so successful as Steve Jobs? It's always that he even possessed a good internal nature, knew a true innate nature. The way he thought, the way his thought process was, if everyone has a unique thought process, so he found his actual thought process, that what it had to be or in which way it had to be. So that is the only thing which put him today out in this world. So everywhere this matters. I actually started seeing that many people around me, that there is a movie in Netflix called Steve Jobs. After seeing that Steve Jobs movie, many people understood that being an American citizen, he came to Varanasi, and there he was introduced to meditation. So there, from there, he started seeing our monks, and we see many sadhus and sannyasins, right, in Varanasi or Kashi. So there, after seeing them, he possessed that, power behind it. He understood. Then he started possessing everything. He started doing those meditation practice. That he understood. He believed that there is something inside happening. And then he started reading many books, and the most famous book that he was reading was the autobiography of Yogananda Paramahamsa. So I've seen many people doing that, just that he did. So once you put yourself transparent, and once you ascend yourself, it is very easy for all these things to happen within no matter of time. And the next one is dance with what comes to your front door. So this is also the continuation of that. It is just that uh, every rose, once you receive the fruit of the rose, so it's just that whatever situation you get, comes to you, or whatever uncertain situation comes to you, you will not be unstable, or you will not be moved by it. You will just stay stable, because you know that this is all impermanence and everything can be possible, because that is how that is what power we possess with, or you understand this reality and the powers behind it, and you even know, you have been experienced it, so you know how to even put into this reality. So it's just that once you create that impact, it's just that there is no end for it. You start doing whatever you want to. And here it is not that in this phase you will never do something uncertain. You have rectified everything, you have balanced everything. So there are no chances of you yourself doing something wrong. It is just that you be on the right pace, and you be the good example for this society, internally, externally. So just see whichever inspiring person or the successful person in this physical world or reality, everyone, as they are successful in this outer world, they will have a good, true, innate nature inside. So everyone, you just start digging their history and start digging their journey. Then you just start understanding that how divine they are internally and how determined they are externally. And the next one is step into your divine will. So this is where it is so called, we were discussing just now a minute ago, that you understand, or you will know that I have a solution for everything. From where do you get that confidence? It's just that you have stepped in your divine will. Divine will is not limited. Divine will is not just applicable for only some things. Everything and anything it is applicable for. So it is just that you step into your divine will. Then that is where you get the confidence that I have a solution for everything. And the next one is give thanks to yourself. So the moment you succeed in every situation that you get along with or get into your path, So it suggests that you be thankful for everything that you have done. It suggests that the grace you have created in the broader strokes, you just be thankful. Especially we started with being thankful to ourselves, because without our efforts, without our progress, things wouldn't work out. We did lot of progress internally, externally, lot of efforts, right? So without that, this wouldn't have happened. Just look, we have to just look onto our journey, that today what we are compared to a year ago what we were. You'll just start being that so thankful. Every time it cannot be a success outwardly. It's just that, for in my example, I have just seen, yes, sometimes we will be very successful in this outer world, sometimes we will not be successful in this outer world. So in that case, what is actually happening? It's just that once you are successful in this outer world, it's just that you're, for this phase, the outwards target is done. So what happens, you are just now starting up to complete the target internally, the inwards target. So again, once the inwards target is done, the internal changes are made, then again you come on to the external world, then you become successful there, then again you go internally, and then again you make the changes here. So that is why we cannot see the consistent success in the outer world. It's just that it even has to succeed internally, then only it can succeed outward. So both keeps balancing, but we are never aware of it, because we are ignoring the actual fact about this. So that is why we are unable to see that in the way it has to be seen. So next one, this is how it is going to be: your relationship with your spirit, new relationship. Then it's just that, see yourself, before that we just think that this cannot happen, this might not happen, or I'm just like that, everything is judgmental, and that everything we blame. But here it's just that, no, I can do anything, that can happen, why will that not happen? So you just start seeing the new relationship with yourself, with your spirit. Spirit possesses your power, right? So that is how it is indicated. So there you see your new relationship. So here I told you, Tobias tells everything in the form of new. With the new energy, everything becomes new. New reality, new dimensions, new world, new relationships, a new self, a new you. Everything is new. So it's just that everything changes. The perception towards yourself, on yourself, is also will also change. So that is something called a new relationship with your spirit. That is just that you have accessibility for every power you possess, free accessibility. And yeah, these are the laws that it actually had. And this is actually a very big and connected subject from the creations and the creator series. But as we did creation series already, so it's just about the creator series. And what all in given time that we had to cover, I guess I covered it. So if you have any questions or any doubts, we have just a second. Yeah, 2-3 minutes you can do it. Or you can even leave it in the chat if you have any, or if you want to share your experiences or anything, you can just do it. So especially new energy ascension is like something very important one, because it's all about channeling, completely a new dimension, definitely. So for me, it really helped to channel things and see things in a new way. Like it has solution and reasoning. Being in this human body or human mind, we always need a reasoning to it. Till now people just said that you have to believe that no matter what, that is the only ultimate thing. But here it's just that you will have access to all the powers because you satisfy with the reasoning. So that is where this is. So I can this book, like there is a book called the Creator series, the Tobias materials. You can just try reading that book for much more detailed information and the examples. Explain. Superconscious. So superconscious is nothing but the grown consciousness of yours. It's just the higher dimensions you move, it's the superconsciousness. So superconsciousness will be possessed when you are in this physical body, but it cannot be activated here in this physical body. When you are only with the energy body, that is where you can see your super consciousness. So unless and until you are in this physical body or something like that, it is not possible to see the super consciousness, or it is not possible to access your super consciousness. So super consciousness is not something very different, or this thing, it's just the higher level of your consciousness. For me, in my terminology, super consciousness is something a stabilized consciousness, that no wavering consciousness. Only if we sit in our meditation process, so that only not in just that time we have like only in that time if we could see that, so that is not super consciousness for me. Every time, if you're not even in the meditation posture or not meditating also, you should possess that. So for that I feel that is so called super consciousness. So Praveen, did I answer your question? So yep. So it's just that awareness or consciousness, though it has many names, unless and until the both are stabilized, we cannot see the higher functioning of it. So we always have to, if you want to experience your super consciousness, try to be conscious for 1 hour with no wavering. Then that is when you can see your super consciousness. If you're not with our physical body, when we are not with our physical body, we are not with the thoughts. Then when we are not with the thoughts, our consciousness is consistent, right? To see that super consciousness in this physical body, you have to be unwaveringly conscious or in the awareness, so you can experience it here too. But it takes a lot of efforts. For for that we are doing all these processes and everything, to possess that. But with our mind or thoughts, energy is being drained or the states are wavered, moved. So that is why we are unable to experience that. But our guru, he is the one who is possessing it, right? Because his consciousness, awareness is not unwavering, not wavering, sorry. Everything is like unwavered, very stabilized. So if you are very stabilized, then you can see that. But the one of the features in super consciousness would be completely transcending. So there you can see the transcendence, there you can see the channeling. Once you are consistently with your super consciousness, you can see every energy body. So that in other words it's called psychic too. So this can happen in it. So this is all about the creator series, just the 12 laws. It is as simple, but his terminology is very magical that it makes us so interesting. That every fact makes us like lot of admiration towards the subject. So that is why I really loved. And it has, the good thing about this series is it has a reasoning for every fact, the true reasoning, the true point, which makes us understand very clear. So this is all about the creator series. So see you tomorrow. Bye bye and good night.